Polite behavior sets gentlemen apart in all circumstances, even when taking care of business. And yes, we truly mean every type of business. So today, we're covering our top 5 rules for when you're going number 1 or number 2. Let's jump right into our list today with our first item, number 1, be discreet and considerate. When you're with a group and realize that you need to use the facilities, there's no need to announce to everyone, "I'm going to the toilet," or certainly to phrase it even more coarsely than that, especially in a situation where food or drink is being consumed. Instead, it's perfectly fine to say, "Please excuse me for a moment," and almost everyone will be able to put things together without needing the full context. When encountering a closed bathroom door in private or a closed stall in public, it's always a good practice to give a firm but not excessive knock first to ensure that you don't blunder in if the door is unlocked but the facilities are occupied. In public settings, it's also more considerate to not use the handicapped stall or dedicated restroom if there are other ones available, provided, of course, you don't have a legitimate claim to it yourself. Since you don't want to create a situation where someone who isn't able-bodied is waiting on you when you could have used a different, non-specialized area. On a related note, our second item is respect personal space when in public. As with any other public situation, it's important to be mindful of others and try to avoid any situation where you might, even inadvertently, make someone else uncomfortable. For instance, when selecting a urinal or stall, the implicit convention is to leave an empty space between yourself and someone else if it's possible. As you might be aware, urinal etiquette is its own topic, and as this Reddit user points out on r math memes, it can perhaps be solved with the Fibonacci sequence. You should also avoid starting a conversation with someone while they're in the middle of doing their business, especially if they're in a stall. If you do recognize someone in the restroom, you can start a conversation with them while you're each washing your hands, or better yet, wait until you've stepped back out. As is a good general rule when in public, refrain from listening to music, videos, or other sounds from your phone's speakers as well. And never talk on the phone with someone while doing your business. We promise it can wait, and the person on the other end of the line will be much happier for it. Finally here, if there's a place to keep eye contact or wandering eyes to a minimum, it would definitely be the public restroom. Simply focus on your own business as much as possible, especially when using urinals without any dividers between them. Next, number 3, maintain cleanliness. Men's restrooms have a bad reputation when it comes to cleanliness, so do your part to avoid making it any worse. When using a stall, remove your jacket and hang it on the provided hook. You'll find that it will be easier to maneuver and your jacket will stay more crisp. Whether utilizing a urinal or sitting on a toilet, be mindful of your garments. You don't want trouser fronts or belt tails to be in the line of fire, as it were. And when seated on a toilet, be aware of any puddles on the floor when lowering your trousers or suspenders. Always clean up the seat and surrounding area as necessary with toilet paper, depending on the accuracy of your aim. Flush after you're finished, and give a second courtesy flush if needed to leave things tidy. In private bathrooms, and some public ones, there might be a toilet brush available. If necessary, especially in regions where low-flow toilets are more common, like much of Europe, you can take advantage of this brush to further clean the toilet bowl if anything is left behind. And that's all we'll say on that topic. Toilet paper goes in the toilet, of course, but dispose of any paper towels, tissues, or other trash in the proper receptacles. No one wants to clean up anything that you might have left behind. In summary here, a gentleman leaves things in the same or better condition than that in which he found them. And after doing all necessary cleaning, always wash your hands thoroughly after using the restroom, no exceptions. Do so with a reasonable amount of soap and keep your hands under the water for 30 seconds to a minute. Don't be the guy my father once encountered at a business conference who left the restroom without washing his hands, after a number 2 no less, and then put said hands into a communal snack bowl. When you're finished washing your hands, use the accompanying paper towels or hand dryer to dry them. Don't flick water onto the floor or others. This will also prevent any awkward exchanges if you need to shake someone's hand shortly after. By the way, if you're in the mood for more etiquette explainers, we've also got one on handshake etiquette, which you can find here. Next is number 4, be reasonable and responsible. It's no secret that bodily functions, especially those performed in the restroom, smell. This is a reality of life that can't be avoided. So, if you produce or encounter odors in a bathroom, avoid the urge to say anything. In a public setting, it will be perfectly obvious to everyone and juvenile to make a big deal out of it, as Ace Ventura famously illustrated.
Do not go in there. Woo!
In a private residence, even if the situation is especially bad, commenting to anyone else about it, even as a joke, isn't really going to fix things. Instead, consider turning on the ventilation fan when possible, ideally before you begin your business. At parties, the host may leave a scented candle burning or prominently leave out an air freshener, in which case it would be considerate to use them. We don't believe that a gentleman should feel obligated to carry around odor-fighting products like Poo-Pourri, not a sponsor. Although if that's something you'd like to do, you're obviously free to do so. In the event that you make or observe an unusually large mess, a clogged toilet, or empty soap dispensers in a public restroom, politely inform the staff. And do likewise in a private setting as discreetly as possible, communicating only with the host directly in a polite but straightforward manner. Finally today is the number 5 item on our list, considerations for when there's a crowd. If there are people waiting for a stall to open up and you're aware of this, few things are as rude as taking up more time in the restroom than you actually need. And while it's sometimes better to take your time doing your business as opposed to trying to rush, being considerate of others is still more important. In other words, this isn't the time or place to be doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. Sometimes it can be more difficult to see this when in a full-length stall where you can't see the people's feet around you, though you won't usually have this problem in the US. If you hear someone knocking or the door keeps opening, that's probably your sign that it's time to finish things up. If you're attending a large venue, like a concert or sporting event, you can basically assume that this will be the case regardless, especially if there was already a line in place. In conclusion, as with many aspects of being a gentleman, being one in the bathroom simply requires being conscientious and courteous with others and their time while taking care of business. As Taro Gomi's famous children's book reminds us, everyone poops. And even if not everyone is polite about it, you certainly can be. Do you feel we left off a critical piece of advice concerning handling your business? Let us know in the comments and we can flesh the conversation out further. In today's video, I'm wearing a simple, casual outfit based around blue tones. My short-sleeved seersucker sports shirt from Land's End features a grid pattern of navy blue and royal blue on a white ground. My trousers are plain royal blue, a bit lighter than the standard navy, and my shoes are navy blue suede loafers from the brand Henry Stevens. My socks are from our own brand, Fort Belvedere. There are two-tone solids in light blue and navy blue. Rounding things out today is the fragrance I'm wearing from the Roberto Ugolini collection. Appropriately enough, it's blue suede shoes. So, for the fragrance and socks I'm wearing, as well as a wide array of other classic men's accessories, corduroy trousers, and other fragrances from the Ugolini collection, you can take a look at the Fort Belvedere shop here.